Here is a tour of the lifts at King's College Hospital. There are a lot of no photography signs in the hospital, so it was difficult filming without anyone noticing. On the left is the tower. I'm going to leave that till last. Now into the Art Deco section of the hospital and into the lift. Now I'm going along a corridor, then turn off into the new Jubilee part of the hospital. These lifts go fast and are made by Elite. Now off from the atrium, and there's another lift. This lift you can't get in without a pass, as it's the service lift. It's the same as the other lifts, but it goes a lot slower and it's really grotty inside. Now coming off the atrium the other side and into the lift there. This is the same as the lifts in the atrium, apart from the fact it goes up to the plant room level as well, which requires a key.
Ground floor.
When you go to floor 2 in the last lift, that's where ultrasound is. Ultrasound's up some stairs from floor 2, so there's a disabled platform lift to take people in beds from floor 2 up to ultrasound. This platform lift is made by Botanica Lifts. Now going back to the ground floor and going into the atrium and go along to near where the exit is, and there's a lift there that takes people to the clinic. When I went, the clinic wasn't open, so I couldn't go in the lift, but I've been in it before. It's another Elite lift, but goes a lot slower than the ones in the atrium and just goes between basement, ground and first floors where the clinic is. Now going back along to the main corridor, then go along the main corridor to where the passage turns off to operations. Go along there to an old slow lift. This lift's made by Pawn and Dunwoody. Now back and carrying along the main corridor, along to where there's 4 lifts. These lifts are quite old and grotty. One lift goes from basement to 2nd floor and the other 3 go from basement to 3rd floor.
Basement.
And now continuing up the corridor, and off one side is a lift that used to be a really old Otis lift, but it's now been replaced with a bog standard one.
Doors closing. Third floor. Doors opening.
And now to the next lift.
Doors closing. First floor.
Now go back down the corridor to where the main 4 lifts are and go up to floor 3. Then go into children's clinic and go through the set of doors where there used to be a really old lift. This lift was a gated lift. The lift went from floor 1 to floor 4 and didn't go down to the ground floor. It is now being extended to the ground floor and replaced with a modern lift. Here is a bit of movie I took a year ago when I went to King's College Hospital. As I wasn't thinking of making a lift tour at this time, a bit of movie isn't very good.
Into Jeep, I go to the main and I go through that way.
And next to the main lift in children's clinic. This is a Doppler lift and it doesn't work properly and keeps breaking down. This lift goes from lower ground exit, then ground floor, first floor, mezzanine, second, third and fourth floors. On mezzanine, which is floor E, the display in the lift doesn't work properly and is blank, but on the outside of the lift, being blank is not an option, so floor E is counted as floor 2, so floor 3 is counted as floor 4, and floor 4 is counted as floor 5, and people outside the lift get confused what floor it's on. This lift sounds a bit like an eco disc. And now along to the next lift, which is staff only and requires a card to get through this staff only door into the lift, but I know another way to the lift. Go along to the main 4 lifts, then go down to basement and along a corridor until you get to the lift.
Doors closing. Doors opening. 4th floor.
Now back down to a basement and carrying along a corridor to another staff only lift. This is an ultra slow Otis lift. Now coming up a staff only area and going to the tower. The tower has a set of 2 lifts and a set of 3 lifts. These lifts are made by Elite.
Doors closing. Ninth floor. Doors opening.